Welcome everyone to another episode of T-Shirt Cooking. For today's video, we will try making brownies, except this time we will make them with Lotus cookies and Biscoff spread. Once more, continuing our trend of using the Lotus cookies and Biscoff creamy spread. Also, I just realized that I have something to do in about 45 minutes, so let's get this video straight to it because I completely forgot about something else that's quite important. Now we have a double boiler going here. We're going to be putting the butter and chocolate chips in there to melt. At the same time, we'll be putting the eggs, white sugar, and brown sugar in here to mix for about 5 minutes. Once that's mixed for quite a few minutes, we're gonna add in the flour, the cinnamon, the cocoa, all that. We have this tray here, which I think is a 7x7, and I'll be using this Pam spray. As you've seen in my previous videos, we'll spray it around to make these brownies. Something I wanna mention too is I have about 5 brownie videos. They're all fails. I don't know what keeps happening. Whenever I make brownies on camera, they always fail. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that happens. But anyways, the ingredients, we have the Biscoff spread, we have 10 Lotus cookies, we have 150 grams of butter, 150 grams of semi-sweet chocolate. We have 30 grams of cocoa. We have a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Because we're using salted butter, we're not adding extra salt. We have 75 grams of flour. We have 150 grams of both brown and white sugar, and we have 3 eggs. And this recipe was sent to me by someone who used generative AI to give me a recipe idea. So we're gonna see how it is, if it's good or not. If it's not good, well, I mean, this video is going up anyways at this point, and it is what it is. We're April right now, and I'm still freezing. I don't know what's happening. We'll cut that. Anyway, let's get straight to the recipe. We'll put in the butter in here in this double boiler with this chocolate. And why we do that and we use a double boiler is because first, I don't have a microwave in my house. And second, because as I've learned the hard way, when you're warming up chocolate, you cannot warm it up in a pan or in a pot or anything like that. You need to use a double boiler because then the chocolate will burn. Learned it the hard way, unfortunately. In here, we're gonna put the eggs. Let's put those 3 eggs in there. Let's put the sugar. And we're gonna make this mix like that, and already half our ingredients are gone. Crazy how that happens. We'll let this mix for about 5 minutes. By then, the chocolate should be melted, and then I forgot what the next step was. Oh yes, so this is what I'm gonna be doing. We're gonna be mixing. Here, let's turn it on. Let's see if you still hear me. I think you can still hear me. So we're gonna be mixing this for about 5 or so minutes. Then afterwards, we're going to be putting in the flour, the cocoa, all that. We're gonna put in there. We're not using baking powder purposely because we want it to be fudgy and gooey, but we'll see what happens. If not, I mean, once again, we're gonna find out by the end of this video. Back to what I was saying. We're gonna put in all these ingredients afterwards, and then we're going to mix in the butter and the chocolate, which is starting to melt here. So that's good news. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna be making a base with half of the brownie batter. We'll put in the Biscoff, which I'm also going to melt in this pot. We'll put in a layer. And then after that, we'll put in the other half of the brownie batter on top. And then we're going to crush these cookies by hand so the bits aren't too granular. So it's not fine. It's, you know, still chunky bits of cookie. We're gonna put on top, we'll put in the oven at 350 bake, non-convection. And I say 25 to 30-ish minutes. Maybe we'll do like 27 minutes and see what happens. Once again, this is all a test. We're gonna see what we're doing. We're gonna see how it goes. All right, so stick with me here. Now we're gonna fast forward here while this entire process goes on, but that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, for reasons I cannot explain, we ended up losing about 8 minutes of footage where I explained and went through some stuff. However, as you'll see with the way this video turns out, you didn't miss much. Trust me, you'll be fine. Sub, like, comment, share with all your friends. All right, guys, I just realized we lost a bunch of footage. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. Really sorry, but anyways, at this point in the video, I'm just gonna verbally explain because it's 5 brownie videos that I try making now, and there's something wrong with each one. This one's going up online, I don't care. I just can't explain it. Now, what I did was I have the mixing bowl. Now, in the mixing bowl, we put in the butter. Sorry, no, let's repeat. You see, already now I'm all mixed up. Okay, let's focus. So in the mixing bowl, we put in the eggs and the sugar. We had that spin for about 5 minutes. Then I put in the cocoa, had that spin. It was the cinnamon and the flour. I slowly sifted it in while mixing by hand at that point because I wanted, with the spatula, to hit the bottom, and the mixer doesn't necessarily get the bottom. That's what we did. Then I put half of the brownie layer at the bottom, and at that point I was speculating that's a little bit too liquidy, but we're gonna see what happens. Then I took the Biscoff spread that was being melted here, the creamy spread and I poured it as a middle layer. Then I took the rest of the brownie mix and I poured it on top of that. Now it came out a bit of like a soupy cake. We're gonna see how this turns out when I bake it. I feel it's, I don't know, I just feel something else is gonna happen with these. I don't know. Anyways, no baking powder. Apparently if you put baking powder, it's gonna be harder and whatever. And I wanted these to be maybe more gooey or fudgy. No baking powder. I then took the Lotus biscuits, broke it on top, and it came out to these little parts. And yes, I broke it with my hands. I washed my hands as per usual. Kitchen's clean, surfaces are clean, hands are clean. I mean, that's just how it is in the t-shirt cooking kitchen. Some of you guys have takeout like 3-4 times a week, and you think those 14-year-olds working at those places that hate themselves are washing their hands? No, but yet you're still scoffing that burrito down your throat. So don't tell me about hand washing and all this, all right? You probably don't even wash your hands after you're done going to the washroom. So once again, don't talk to me about hand washing. You don't know what you're talking about. Comparatively, this is extremely hygienic. Point aside, all this aside, I don't even remember what I was saying. So now we have this, we preheated the oven to 350. Hopefully this camera, for some reason, doesn't stop filming. I'm gonna put this in the oven and then we're gonna come back when it's the time of tasting. I take it out, I'm gonna wait a few moments, we're gonna cut it up, that's it. We try a piece and we'll cut. And I don't know what it is with these brownie videos. Let's just put this in before this camera cuts. Remember, 25 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna do maybe 27. All right, guys, we're back hours later. And this is another scuffed brownie video. I don't even know what's going on. I mean, came back hours later now. And for some reason, when the camera's on, brownies are never good. I don't know what's going on. By the way, if you hear that background noise, that's the dishwasher. Honestly, at this point, like I can't even break this up. It's like a big like schlop of, I don't know what is happening here. I can't even pull this out. The whole outside for some reason is super hard, but the middle is all falling apart. I don't know. Look, I can't even cut a piece. I'm gonna have to figure out something with this, maybe recycle it in another way or whatever. Yeah, this is a failure video. I mean, we've had like maybe 5 or 6 of these on the channel, and here we are. And way too much work and money went into these brownies. Therefore, we're not gonna scrap the video. We're still gonna use the video. This is what it is. You know, you used AI for the recipe. It was given by somebody else who used AI, or I don't even remember now. I don't know, that's what happens when you trust your recipe to a bunch of like silicone dioxide that's heated and you know, that gets an electrical current through metal, and you know, just this is what we get. Let's just cut the video. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for still being here. Thanks for subbing, liking, all that. Don't make this recipe. It clearly doesn't work. I don't know what's going on, or if you make it and it works, let me know. But I can't even grab a piece. It's just breaking up. No, there's nothing to do here. I'm gonna have to recycle this and make some other dessert out of it or something. I don't know. That's it. Cut the video.